Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to the Nitro Addiction. How is everybody doing this evening? Hope you guys are having a great day. Some places have beautiful weather, and some places don't. We've got Rocky Perry in the house. What's up? Am I alone, I'm assuming, brother? Yeah, it's early on. It takes a minute for people to come in. But thank you for joining in. Hope you enjoy the show. We'll get going here pretty quick. Lee Harris, what's up? Good cold evening. Yeah, it's probably like 50 something here. But you know it's weird out here in the desert. It's a privilege. Oh, thanks, brother. I do appreciate you. Out here in the desert, 40 and 50 degrees it's a lot cooler than being in the Midwest. The humidities are different, so the temperatures feel different. 7 degrees, holy crap. Yeah, this morning back home it was what did it say, -4, something like that, -1. Wind chill -15. Poor Bob up there. How's it going, Bob? Poor Bob's got a ton of snow, and what he didn't have, the plow gave him. I saw that little post you did in Discord. That sucks, man. I hate when they do that, especially if you've already dug your own shit out. It says -14 Celsius, so that's I think that's still above zero here, which just kind of gives us a roundabout understanding of what you're dealing with. I don't know how to convert it, but I know zero there is 32 degrees here, which is freezing. So if you're -14, I don't think that's quite down to zero, but still cold. It's cold, whatever it is. Yes, sir. But yeah, the days here are warm and mild, nice. And then the nights get a little chilly, but nothing that we can't handle. So, but what I think we're going to end up doing tonight is we're going to pull this engine out, and I have yet to open this up the whole time I've had it. So I'm sure it could use a good cleaning. Peel it apart, see where it's at. Put a lot of gallons through it, a lot of hard gallons. So wouldn't be surprised if it is looking like it's going to start needing a repinch. I shouldn't have too much lean look to it because I haven't really been running it lean, just hard. Snowed more than 3 feet yesterday. Dude, I haven't experienced that since I was up in Minot. We had a 3-day blizzard. When it was done, it was about 40 inches. But man, nothing's like that lake effect snow on the east side of the Great Lakes. Whether it's Buffalo, Michigan area, whatever, all those states up in there, they get crazy amounts of snow. Oh, didn't even notice it. There's Steve. What's up, brother? Appreciate you joining in. Big Boys Tours, what's up, my brother? The higher RPM VP's in the house. I mean, even though I'm not very good, as Hybrid put it, I would be the race division VP. We'll call it the beginner race division VP. Yeah, that is a lot of snow. And then Lotus put up a video. Looked like he had a good amount of snow. I think we only got like 6 inches in Kansas City. But yeah. And then there's some of them other states that got some snow and ice that aren't quite used to it. Looks like they're dealing with the mess. But anyways, so we're gonna get started. This thing's pretty dirty, and man, racing will just beat the shit out of your body. So I've had to use some glue quite a few places. Paint's chipping out of it. I got to do a better sanding job whenever I paint these bodies because it's already peeling out of my other one that I just painted. Like when they're getting, man, when you're racing, like you get hit a lot. Um, it's crazy how much hit hitting goes on, you know. And I'm not saying it's not my fault. I will be willing to bet a lot of it's my fault. Yesterday for our main on the, I did the Nitro Truggy Sportsman, and or no, sorry, I'm talking specifically with the buggy. I was in the B main, and they were combining some of the smaller race groups trying to get through the day because we had like 111 entries, and I mean I left there at 7:10, and they still had like 4 races to go, and they were doing a 20-minute nitro main, so they probably didn't get out of there till 9 o'clock. So big, huge day. It took forever to get through all of it. It was fun though. But anyway, so they merged the B main Sportsman buggy with the A main open truggy. And so like every couple of laps, here they come lapping us again. And it's like, man, I gotta get out of the way. But I kept running into this one guy, and he was standing right next to me. He was a really nice guy. He's a pretty good racer. He's well known out in the area. Um, but I kept getting in front of him, or like I'd see him coming around, and I'd try to get out of his way, and we just both would decide to go the same way, the same time, and it's like that's what happens when you put newbies with with pro level. I'd say they were some pros, some just really good, but yeah, and I mean they were just lapping us, but I kept hitting him and knocking him out, and then this one marshal took forever to get to him, and that's pretty much what, like, he was saying it was the marshal's fault that took him out of it, but I apologized a bunch of times, and he was really cool about it. Some of them are really nice, and then you meet some real douchebags, and I'm not going to mention any names, but here's the scenario. Tell me if you guys have ever experienced anything like this. So I had 2 guys that were running the open buggy as the B main. One of them is my pro buddy that he's helped me out a lot. He helped me during the Oktoberfest. But he, every time we were at the track together, he's helping me out. So I was pitting for him, and then one of their buddies that also needed a pit guy. I was like the only person available because everybody was running races before and marshaling or running after and didn't have time. So I'm pitting 2 guys. I got the buggies up on the rail at about to drop them onto the line, or actually I even had dropped them out, and so they're running. I turn around to where the little ledge is where we keep everything. I'm filling up the gun, the gun that you squeeze into the top, the quick gun, and I'm filling it up, getting ready, and I turn around, and there's this freaking douchebag that I've had run-ins with before, and he's just one of those arrogant, kind of idiot prick. He's a decent driver, but he's not as good as what they are. He's always in like the back of the pack, but he thinks he owns the track. He thinks he owns everything. Everybody knows him as a douchebag. And so I turn around, and he's just like standing in my spot where I had just put these 2 buggies out, and all I'm doing is get my fuel bottles ready. And so I'm like, damn, dude, you just took my spot, right? And I'm squeezing in, and I'm setting my stuff up on the ledge, my gun, and then the fuel bottle for the other guy, and just trying to get set up. And I look at the fuel bottle that's sitting there, and it looked kind of like one of them that I had sitting out. And so I grab it just to check it, thinking for a split second that it's mine, right? And I was like, oh, that's not mine. And I set it back down, and he looks over at me, and he says, don't do that. I'm like, really? What, you think I'm just touching your shit for shits and grins? Like, most of the people there are really cool, but people like that at the track, and so the first encounter I had with them, when you're up there on the stand, and say if you lean forward because you're trying to look down and talk with your pit guy or whatever the case is, people can't see around you. And I understand. So the first encounter I had was I was leaned over, and he was like, can you lean back? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. And literally not even a minute later, as I'm trying to drive, he's like leaned over the rail and like yelling for somebody and swinging his big ass arms around and like in the way. And I'm like, will you get out of the way? And he wouldn't do it. And it's like, people like that are the most annoying people to be around. Anyways, I just let it go. We all know he's a douchebag. I'm not gonna cause grief at a track, right? My encounter with the two douchebags. There's two of them, him and his buddy. The two douchebags at the track I've had encounters with already, and it's really annoying. Just curious if you guys have ever had that experience. Anyways, back to the good stuff. So yeah, and I did pit two guys at the same time. Kind of fun, kind of interesting, especially when one of them flamed out and had to go get it, and then I'm like rushing to fuel both of them at the same time. Yeah, and get one started back up. It was fun, but it's good practice. So, anyways, I beat there's two people kind of down at the bottom with me, and I've been beating one of them like just about every race. So makes me feel good about where I'm at. He's been doing this for a few years, so it's always nice to beat somebody, especially somebody that's been doing it longer than you. Trying to work my way up, but there's a lot of good fast people in that class, and it's going to take a minute to get through it. But the truggy, my first qualifying, I actually had first place through about 80% of the race, and then somehow right at the end, I don't remember if I got hung up on the pipe or what. Dude passed me and beat me by like 2 or 3 seconds. So right there at the end, he squeaked it out. But anyways, I didn't do so well in the second qualifying, and I got overall out of eight or nine people, I took fourth with the truggy. So it was fun. I'd like to be able to do better with it, but it's a good start. Still, it's like I'm to the point where I know I can get around the track without wrecking. I know where to do, the throttle, the brakes, how to steer through, where to hit the jumps. It's just putting it all together and being consistent. I'm getting my lap times down towards where I want them to be, where they need to be. I think some of the top laps were like 31, 32 seconds, and my best lap was a 36, and my consistent laps were like 39 to 40, maybe 41, something like that. But the ones that I beat them because they just kept crashing because they don't know how to stay steady. That's what I'm trying to do, is like stay steady, not crash, and just keep it smooth, and then just slowly pick up speed from there. But anyways, if you guys have never raced, you may not completely understand, but it's fun. It's a totally new concept for me, and of course, way different than bashing. And it's weird because like as soon as I think I've got the tune set, find out that I don't. But we're getting better at it regardless. We just gotta keep going in the right direction. Oh, and the other thing, I know you guys seen this before because we've been through this before. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm saying hi to everybody. 122. Holy crap. Sucks, big boys. Let's see. All right. So, like I said, I know you guys have seen this. I guess moral to the story I just told was, don't be a douchebag, especially to the new people. All right. Get this set where you guys can see it. There's people call it Invasion Day. I bet they do. All right. Watch very closely. I'm going to be pulling on the trigger. I just barely got it pulled. When the engine's fired up, it just sounds weird. As you can see, I'm not moving my finger. Excuse me. So when I get about there, it stops. The whole time. So as we found out last time, another bad servo. Another $70 piece of junk, I guess we'll call it. So, this is going to become my basher radio with whatever servos I have left. And once those $70 turds are done, hopefully Futaba will replace a couple of them, because this one's not even 2 months old. 3 months tops. It's not that old. If they replace them, it's just going to be a basher. If they don't, I'm going to sell the controller and throw all these junk-ass, overcharged, high-dollar turds in the trash. Man, if you're going to charge $70 a servo, they should last longer than a month or two. So, we're going to be doing something different controller-wise here in the near future. Mama's in the house. What's up? Trying to ABS, but it's not supposed to. Yeah, it's trying to do something. It's junk. You try running an inline capacitor. Seems like you don't have enough voltage coming out of your receiver to your servo, or try running separate power from the battery to servos. I'm running a LiPo battery to it. No, it's just, they're junk. I'm running the same type of setup that everybody else runs. They don't have trouble with the Fly Sky. One of the guys buys the $110 or $120 servos, and he doesn't have the issue. I'm not doing that. If your $70 low end is that much junk, I'm too bad. I'm done. So we will be going with something else here in the near future. Not going to reveal it just yet, but let's see. That could cause you to lose the race. Yeah, exactly. Battery powers receiver power servos. Right. Well, it's just. There's something that comes loose inside the board in there, and whatever the case is, but we had the same problem on the live. We checked it out. It was the receiver, but yeah, no, I've never had that issue with any controller on that low, that early pull of the throttle, and I run them all the same. The guys at the track all run the same type of setup. But they're not running this, and I'm the only one having this problem. But we're gonna go something else. So here in the near future, if they don't replace these servos, I don't know that I'm gonna hold on to this and do it as a basher or just sell it. But when that comes around, if anybody's interested, let me know. I guess there is a more expensive servo that you can get for it, but 70 is already high enough. I'm not gonna spend more money because they're low-end, overpaid junk. Is junk. No. So, I'm just done. I hate spending money on stuff that doesn't work. And the fact that I've done it a couple times, it's starting to become insanity. If you don't know what insanity means, try the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Yeah. We ain't doing it. Thought maybe it was just a fluke. I even got there's a little thing that a guy at the track makes for this. If you go to Wheeler Innovation Winning or Wins or something like that, I'd have to look it up. He's got some pretty cool stuff, but he 3D prints a little thing that, like a mold that fits in here, and it's like a soft rubbery plastic type thing, more like a soft rubber that he 3D prints, and it fits in the box, made it specifically for techno, and then the receiver sits inside of it, and it gives it a cushion, so it's not smacking and not sitting right on the chassis, getting warm from the engine. So they're pretty nice. I think if I had a real receiver, I wouldn't have this problem. But no, I'm done with Futaba. My first Futaba, and probably my last, if I can find a controller that's gonna give me what I want, which is not crapping out every couple of months. I mean, I know people have been hitting the track hard, and I mean, you know, everybody has big crashes, and you know, they don't have these problems, but they're not running these Futaba. This is like the R304 SB or something like that. And I don't know, it's just junk. Try S-Box SG1211. Ones I use never had an issue. Well, you're talking servo. My servo's fine, it's the receiver. I thought it was the servo last time, and I thought the Protec had gone bad. But no, it was the receiver. Doing the exact same thing. And I'll test it out before I throw it in the trash. Or try to get a new one from Futaba, but doing the exact same thing. I guarantee it's the receiver. They made that batch of receivers on a Monday morning after a holiday. Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, it's, you know, 6 months apart. And one of them I had bought before I even came out here. And I've been here for 6 months. So, you know, that's probably 8 months old. And then the other one I just bought recently. So, I mean, they could be from the same batch. But, yeah. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So, we're not going to play this game. It's hard enough racing. You know, you're trying to win, trying to keep everything in order so that you can win. You know, it's hard enough messing with all that stuff without having to worry about a stupid receiver. All right. So next step. Yeah. So here hopefully next week or two, we'll see. I don't know what is up with this pipe. I don't know if it's so gummed up I can't get the screw tightened all the way down, or if somehow it became stripped. But this exhaust pipe is not doing what we want. Let's see if I can get that on camera. Look. Definitely need a new chassis before I break that front end off. It's not easy being cheesy. The boss says, I think you're talking about the servos. Nah, brother, we're talking receiver. And last time, like I said, I thought it was the servo, and then Rinks made the suggestion to you know, make sure I try another port, try another servo, whatever, yada, yada. It's only in that, and it's always the same one. It's the same channel for the throttle. But yeah, it's definitely the damn receiver. Has to be. I made it. What's up, everybody? How you doing, Paige? What's going on? SR215 Spectrum, you will never have a problem, and they're really good and cheap. Yeah, I mean, I'll look into them. I haven't decided yet. But wait till you guys see what shows up here. I should have it this coming up weekend, and I'll tell you what kind of deal I got on these items. I couldn't believe it. Got me a nice little hookup. From one of the, you know, from a reputable place. But I can't like say who or what, but I can say that it's badass. But I'll tell you the prices when the stuff shows up. It will blow your mind. It blew mine. And this engine, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's running really good. I've just thought it'd make a good show to peel it apart and take a look on the inside. Hopefully we don't find something that we don't want. But I definitely need to get this thing, I don't want to say definitely need to get it repinched. But I'm thinking after this series, before the next season starts up, I'm gonna need to get this thing repinched. Which, I mean, a lot of racers do anyways, like every so often, they say every so many gallons. I'd say right now, at a minimum, I have at least 5 gallons on this thing. Because I've been just absolutely running the piss out of it. And I know I've bought multiple gallons since I've had this. I easily got 5 gallons on it. And I mean, it's running great. You know, little tiny tweak of the needles. It's so different when we first get there, and you know, especially in these cooler months right now, when you first get to the track, it's 50 degrees and it's chilly. By the time qualifying starts, it's up in the 60s, and I don't think I got out of the 60s yesterday. But a lot of times by, you know, the afternoon, you're in the 70s, and then if they're trying to finish up and the sun's going down, you're back down in the 50s. And that's not a lot of change, but it's enough that you constantly got to tweak it. Yeah, and like I said, it's, you know, shouldn't have too much signs of, say, lean, but it has been ran hard. You know, it makes you think, when you're doing the racing, it makes you think about what you're buying when you buy stuff from something, when you know somebody's a racer and you're buying their stuff. It's like, man, I wonder how hard they were on this. Because when you're racing, you know, you're trying to get that max performance out of it and beat everybody else around the track. So, what's up, Raw? How you doing, brother? Run it up to 11 volts. I mean, the steering servo is fine. I don't think putting 11 volts on it is going to, you know, is going to make a difference. It's something in the board. And I got another buddy there at the track that he does some of the like service calls, or you know, like warranty calls, and was basically telling me that, you know, they have weak boards in them and they have a lot of issues with them. But anywho, off the guy, what is up, my brother? What fuel do you use and oil content? So I started out with the VP39, and because it's cheaper and it seems like I'm at the other track more often, lately I have been getting the Nitro Pro 2811. Raw RC, what's up, my brother? How you doing, bro? Good to see you. Your video of your Savage you were running, I don't know, popped up yesterday. I seen it. I've been so busy with this. Like, I didn't get home till 8 o'clock last night, and then I had laundry to do, and yeah, craziness. It was 10 degrees here this morning. Fahrenheit, 3 inches of ice all over the place. Oh yeah, Ross says it's doing good. Dude, we had, years back, we had, I don't know, it's like 3/4 of an inch of ice. And Power lines were dropping everywhere. Tree branches just breaking off out in the middle of the woods. It sounded like shotguns going off. Grab a couple of tools. But like I said, once I figure out what else is going on, if anybody's interested, there might be a futaba for sale. Come on, get out of there. Super busy too. Bad drivers. I bet. And for those of you guys that don't know, Raw is in the auto body repair business, so he's probably got a lot of cars to bondo. I don't know, do you guys still bondo or you just replace panels? I know when I was in high school back in the late 90s, they offered auto body and auto tech at our school. And the auto body teacher, so the old guy that was there for years, I mean, they'd bondo the shit out of everything, like, you know, an inch of bondo. The new guy came in and said, you know, these days we're pulling the metal, working the metal, and then we use a thin layer of bondo just to get it nice and smooth. But if it's too bad, we replace the panels. Some of the older stuff, we'd cut it out and weld it, you know, learned how to do the welding and stuff. But I'm just curious, you know, whether you use a lot of bondo or if it's replacing panels or how they do it these days. Because that was almost 20 years ago. Yeah, but just light coats. Yeah, that's the proper way of doing it. I mean, you're never going to get it completely away from bondo unless you're a master at the metal. There ain't very many people like that, so. 22 hours without power due to ice. Ooh, nice. I've gone 3 days before and we had fish and had to keep the tank warm by putting a blanket over it. Had to keep blowing air in there to circulate the water and stuff. And we only lost a couple. I think we lost like 2 out of 12 or something. So it wasn't too bad, but yeah, it sucks not having power. And yeah, new panels a lot more nowadays. Yep. I mean, it's quicker. You know, it's probably cheaper for the customer to pay for a panel than labor. Quicker for you guys to get the product in and out. And it's you know, it's like new instead of a bunch of crusty bondo in there. Mostly plastic nowadays. Yeah, true. We call it bog down under. Get off there. Yeah, and I didn't get any video this weekend. I kept thinking about it. But, man, oh, crap. So much going on. Look at that. Literally just ripped the whole outer ring off of that thing. Oh, well, it'd been on there for a while. That's probably one of the originals on here. I don't think I've ever changed that gasket. Haven't had to do much with this engine. And look at there. I've never had a drop of oil underneath there. It's mainly just dirt. Not one bit of leaky bearing on this thing. I will say, and this is also comes from the guys at the track, just seeing all the different engines and understanding, you know, how they're tuning and this and that. Man, OS is the way to go. You know, Ultimates are badass, OS. Samurais are badass, OS. These are badass, OS. Like, I know, Picos are great too. I'm just talking like for the smoothness of being on the track, the ease of the tune, because you don't need like the world's greatest amount of power. You just need something consistent and smooth to get around the track. So that's why a lot of people like these, because they're consistent and smooth. All right. I know when we first got this, we tried to pop the sleeve out, but I didn't want to mark anything up because I hadn't even had it in the car yet. So I've never had this thing apart fully. And half the people were cringing that I was even trying to. And the other half was like, do it. Well, here we're finally doing it. And it's had some abuse, so I'm not going to put the first scratch on it with a wrench. It's gotten that from, man, I get why people run an open or pro or whatever. They don't like running with newbies. And, you know, believe it or not, sportsman's still kind of a newbie class. And man, they're wild in the sportsman class. I mean, people just run into you with the way that they fly around. Like it's funny. One guy passed me up more than once cartwheeling. As I'm slowing down to go around a corner, there he goes cartwheeling past me. Now, you know, he didn't make the corner. But it's amazing. Come on, get in there. Yeah, and they got club races coming up this next weekend up at Adobe. And I'd love to keep going, you know, and keep that practice and that racing going. But I need to go get some nice, just open practice where I don't have to worry about the race. I don't have to worry about the extra stuff. We can just go practice. So I think me and my buddy Tony are going to go do some practicing at the compound. I mean, since racing started back in September, I don't know that I've had any just practice days. And if I have, maybe one. But due to rain and racing and whatever, like, there's just no time to just go practice. And I'm definitely going to get some good footage. You know, trying to do that at a race, it's just so complicated. Oh, look at there. Had no idea. I lost a damn screw. But, I mean, there's no oil spillage out of it, so it kept the seal. Yeah, it's a good thing we're doing the maintenance on it now that we are. Hybrid, what's up, my brother? How you doing? Let's see here. Ross says, every time I see that engine, it's dry. Yep. Everybody said it's a good tune. Hell yeah. Shoe glue and drywall mesh. One on the body. Think about buying a portable generator. It wouldn't be caught without it here in Minnesota, right? You kind of need one. Do you find even with a good tune, have you checked your temps after running laps on the track? Yeah. So, like, we checked this yesterday. It was running like 220, 225. Very rarely, you know, I'm sure there's been a couple times where it's running a little hot, you know, brought it in, cooled it down, richened it up a little bit. I think the most I've seen on this was like 260. I hate it whenever it gets up there. Try really hard not to let it get that high. But I was hoping old Pimp would come in here tonight, because he said, man, you're gonna have the fastest engine on the track. He said something like that. And man, this weekend I noticed a hell of a difference on that truggy with that engine. The more I get it broke in, of course, the better it's running. It's probably just about to that point where it's going to be completely free and really starting to show its true potential. And like that step up in the middle, man, just climbs it no problem at all. So easy making that jump. I'm very happy with that FX. So Pimp, if you're on here and I haven't seen your name yet, again, thank you. Great engine. Let's see, do they run hot? Roy specifically asking about the OS. I mean, like I was saying, it runs really good at about, usually it's around 220. I mean, I've seen 230, 240, but for the most part, on average, when I bring it in and check it, it's about 220. By the way, we have friends that live on the East Coast near Sydney in Cornolua. Hell yeah. OSVG 30, I'm a savage, it's a beast. I bought one once, I used one that had a used VG30 in it, but it had some leaks, and I never did get it. And actually, it was my buddy's, the guy that I went out in the country and was running before I came out here. He had bought one, and it had that VG in it. I never could get rid of the leaks, but he wasn't ready to put a bunch of money into it, so I didn't really get a chance to go through it. But from what I've seen, they do run really well. Got the best carb, just use that carbon, whatever fits, right? And that's a big part of it. They'd be wild ones. That's funny. There's a lot of gangs over there. Got a 65-year-old OS Max 19. It's in one of my hydros, and it's still a runner. Damn, that's crazy. 65 years old. Look like if she sent pics and vids at a festival. They party like we do. Robert says he's working on a Thunder Tiger. What's up? Let's see here. Always cover make them all run good for sure. True that. Grandma Vic, what's up? Been real sick just these past few days. I've been feeling better. Well, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. Sucks you've been sick. Tesla ran FX right before he retired. Nice. Which FX do you have? I have the K5. I didn't see anything else on it. It just said K5. If you want, I'll go get the box and we'll see what all numbers are on it. Because that's all that I know is K5. Big wins with FX. Man, it's a great engine. It powers that buggy like it's nothing. Or that truggy, I mean. Dang. Hate it when I'm trying to scroll and it just goes. Hybrid's a poet and didn't know it. Hey there, Grandma Vic. Get well real quick. I like it. If you're asking me, Grandma, we are doing great. Spent 2 weeks at home for Christmas. Had a blast. And then I'll be going home mid-March to do taxes. So I'll go spend the weekend with the family. Good times, good times. And then at some point, I'm going to get Mama out here to come hang out with me. Is that the FX you did the break-in during the live stream? Yes, sir. Only FX I've ever had. That thing fired up. If you've seen that video, I did 4 heat cycles here the night before, and then I heated that thing up to about 220, and literally just fired up instantly and ran all the way through the first tank. That might have died once. But I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. Other than having a bad brand new glow plug in it last weekend, haven't had any issues with that engine. I've probably got, I'd say maybe a half gallon on it at this point, maybe even a little more. With when you're practicing and warming it up and racing, you go through the fuel pretty quick and you don't really keep track very well. But I'd say it's either just under a gallon or right about a gallon even. It's somewhere between 3/4 and a gallon. It's hard to say because I don't keep track of it while I'm running, but man, just love it. Runs great. My love to Miss Janine, please. Will do. She was in here. She's probably got it playing, but got the sound down. Well, that screw was a little loose. That screw was fine. That screw was a little loose. Yeah, it's a good thing we're checking this now. And I've had it out a few times. I just never think to go through and check some of these screws, and it runs great. Like this is one of these smoothest engines. I just realized we didn't have very good angle here. So I have to leave, but have to run to the store. But wanted to say hi to everyone. Well, thanks for joining in. We appreciate it. Have a good night. I'm glad you're feeling better, but hope you get a 100% recovery. You're supposed to do the hunting break-in 360. No. And then blame the product because it can't handle 360 degrees. Nope. And single stage. Well, it was idling at 3. I think he put the temp gun on it while it was idling at like 350. Let's see. Good night, Grandma. Yeah. I remember I was driving home from Omaha to Kansas City, and I know I'm not supposed to text and drive and this and that, and I only do a little bit of texting, like when the coast is cleared, I don't have cars in front of me, and there's no cross traffic. Only when it. I know it's never safe, but it's not like I'm just on the phone all the time. But at the same time, and you may find this to be a little weird, but I'll put something from YouTube on and then just use it as background noise. So that's what I'm listening to as I'm driving home, is him burning up this freaking engine. And I'm like, man, that doesn't sound good at all. And you can hear it just whee. Then you can hear him talking about how, Adam Drake says 300 degrees, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, not on break-in, stupid. He had 4 tanks in there. And then he burned it up and then said it had a tinfoil connecting rod and it was junk. Yeah. It's got a little blackness to it. You could probably say it was been a little lean. I'm telling you, it's been ran hard. There's no doubt about that. Don't forget to turn the piston up. Nice little swirl pattern. It's had some rub from the crank. He tried to recreate the wheel. With my RTR stuff, I never, with the wheels off the ground, sit there and rev it the way that these guys do at the track. And I mean, sometimes it's like, wow, surprises me at how much that they rev it the way they do. Hoping that it gets me through the season. This last portion of this the spring season coming up before I actually have to send it in to do a repinch. Yeah, some of the guys at the track, this one guy, his name's Donald Flowers. I don't know if you guys remember the video I put out from the hailstorm, and there was a guy running his truggy out on the track. And I posted it on the Facebook group, and he goes, "Oh, somebody caught me." And that's kind of how we started talking, have become pretty good friends. But he was telling me yesterday, he said he's pinched that thing. He's had it for over 2 years now. And I don't know if he was exaggerating or what, but said he's repinched that thing like 20 times. I guess each time he has to change the tool, but or maybe he said he's up to like a 20 something. I don't know. He's repinched it quite a few times. I'm probably not right when I say 20, but he's like, I'm just seeing what I can get out of it. And he said, I think I'm just about out of repinches on it. And I know he's not one of those guys that just runs it real lean, and he doesn't do some of the craziness the other guys do. But it's like, if you're racing these things, you're going to have to repinch it. There's no way around it. Feel bad running my basher hard for long periods. The track is that all the time. Yes, totally different scenario. You know what I mean? Like it's way different than bashing. And then I'm struggling to find the tune, because when you're bashing, you can get close and it'll just run. But when you're on the track and you're looking for that top peak performance, because when you're in the air and you want to correct it, you need to be able to slam the throttle and it just instantly just wing and correct itself. And then when you land, you need to be able to slam that throttle and just like shooting out of a cannon. So it was totally different experience for me, and I feel weird whenever I have to do. Let's see, it's not going to pop out that easy. I always feel weird, revving it up the way that they do. Just because it's not something that I started out doing. It's not something that I'm used to doing. So much easier if you take the engine mount off, but I don't really want to. But I can't get the pliers on it. Sorry, adjustable pliers. But probably gonna have to. Yeah. Anyways, I saw this comment. I wanted to read it off. Alpha guy, I seen it. Said it's looking good, Nitro A. Well, you talking about the blackness? I mean, it's got a nice little gold look to it as well, and that is a gold plug. I was waiting on my P3s to come in, and one of my buddies there had a couple of, they were the Samurais. It's a P3, but it come in a black Samurai package. Ran really well. So that guy a couple of plugs. But yeah, I want to get this sleeve out and take a good look at it. It looks like it's starting to move a little bit. Damn, I'm gonna have to take off this freaking engine mount. I don't want to do it, but we need to do it right. Let's see, I'm using stock OS engine mounts that fit the SH perfectly. I see that too, the revving. Oh yeah, no, it makes you kind of cringe, but man, That's how they check to make sure that it's that the tune's right on it. And you know, you see them doing it to their engines. And some of them people will sit there and just wing, and you can't hear anything that's going on, but that ear piercing. And sometimes it really sucks because they want to do it in the pit. It's like, go over there to those tables on the side and do that shit. You know, we can't hear anything with that. Really, really annoying. But yeah, when I first got to the track and seen the way they were doing them, like, ooh man, that just doesn't seem right. But you know, that's how they check to make sure that that tune sings like they want. You know, because they'll sit there and rev it up, and you know, they'll start it off real slow and then do like a slow pull all the way out to max, and then just quick pulls, just bang, bang. And you know, some I've had to get used to, and I do it, but I still cringe. You know, being a basher, we just don't really do that. So it's totally different, but it's way harder on the engine, and will wear them out faster than just running around bashing. That's for sure. I want to see how much pinch I got left in here, because it's like it won't hold its own weight up when you hold the flywheel. So I'm thinking we're getting to the end of it. But it'd be cool to check it out. Like I said, we've never had this apart. Get out of there. Yes! Get out of there. Now, can we just pull it out? Aw. I just cut my fingernails, so I can't do that for sure. Not going to be any more room to stick that in there. So when you guys get it up to this point and don't go any further, what do you use? I know what I normally use, but I've never taken this apart. I want to use it on here. It's a big part of the fun for me, finding that perfect tune. Yeah, that's something I need to get better at, but it's like it takes me forever, and I feel like I'm just wasting so much fuel. So it's like if somebody's there that's better than me, you know, I'll be like, hey, you help me out? And most of them are really awesome about helping. See, this isn't gonna work. Yeah, it's like normally I'd just put the edge of a screwdriver in there. Man, I don't really want to do that. What do you guys think? What's up, John Smith? How you doing, brother? I don't think I've said hi to you yet. I agree most of the time. I don't have to turn needles more than an hour either way. Uh-oh. What's up with the Wi-Fi? We still good? Ooh, toothpicks, but I don't have any. It says I run my bashers like that. You cannot pick it to death, but all scenarios and tracks are different, and sometimes I want different. You know, and I go from a track that's 14, 15, even, it may even be close to like 1,800 feet above elevation. And then the other one is, you know, 1,000 feet above elevation. So a little bit of difference in the air, a little difference in the temps and the humidity. So it's, you know, it's a constant battle changing back and forth. But for the most part, you know, I can go and fire it up and maybe just give it a tweak, and it's perfect. Plastic pry tool. What do I have? I don't have anything that's a plastic pry tool. Well, maybe this. Watch me break it, man. That ain't gonna work. I guess I need to get a plastic pry tool. Yeah, that's just gonna break. Alright, done trying that. That tuna is worse than the high revs as long as it's not lean. Sound like Chewbacca, and then trying to hide it with blipping the throttle. Yeah, good point. Haha. I never got that to work before. I stuck it down in the exhaust port and then used the piston to push it out. Hope you guys could see that. I bundled toothpick. Yeah, I guess I need to get some toothpicks. Says I've removed a few toothpicks so far. It's looking pretty good. You'll have to try that. I have a bunch. It's like a thick popsicle stick. One side and thicker on the other. Yeah, I'm gonna have to invest. I'd like to try one of those sleeve pullers. But if it's something where you've got to heat it up, it's probably not gonna work very good. Come on, get out of there. Yeah, next time I go to Walmart, hopefully I think of picking up some toothpicks. Come on. Just trying something stupid here. See if this will allow me to get a hold of it. Nope. Offer is a smart dude, knows his stuff. Yes, he does. Yes, he does indeed. All right, what's your suggestion now, Offner guy? Now we're sitting here talking you up. I need a suggestion that works. I got it to move part of the way with an odd trick. We got it that far. What if I heat it up? You guys think if I heat it up, then I got to be able to grab a hold of it somehow. Come on. With that points per WD-40 and push it back in and pop it out again. Okay. I'll be right back. Well, I was trying to just take the damn air filter off and I pulled the Venturi out. If you don't want to use pliers lightly, especially on camera. You know, if it was just an RTR, I probably would have used pliers or a flathead at this point, but being this engine, I really don't want to. Take it easy, Bob. Let's see. Try to get a zip in the exhaust and intake side at the same time to lift straight up. Try to get a zip tie in the exhaust and intake side at the same time to lift straight up. I mean, I don't know what you mean, because I can't get down in there. It doesn't go anywhere. It's like the... You don't know where to stick them in there. Like sometimes try to twist sleeve sideways, push it back down. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. So, do you mean wrap it around and like zip it, lock it in, and then use that to try to pull up? I don't know that I could get it to go straight, but I guess it is an idea. Maybe this WD-40 will help. But yeah, I'm always bad about it. I get impatient and I'll do stupid stuff just to get it going and get it done. I just don't want to do that in this one. I really want to put channel locks in this flywheel. It's in really good shape. I'm marking it up. I don't know why I put that antenna tube back. Small zip tie and both sides to get it started straight as possible in the beginning. Wait, you mean like straight in and get it to hook in the front and the back? Which, and I get with that, I've done that before, but I'm getting to the point to where there's no room for that. Oh, there we go. I think the WD-40 trick worked. Good call, Raw. Because it came out a lot easier. There we go. I can feel it moving. Yeah, get her. Yep. Nice. Look at. Take a look at this little beauty. We never did pull this out and look at it in the beginning. Had people cringing that I was even attempting to take it out. See, I've seen some pretty dark exhaust ports. I think that looks really nice. I mean, looks like it's gotten a little warm here on this side, but like other than that, like no real signs of being hot. Nice and easy. Piston looks pretty good. Top's got a little bit of black to it, but I don't think it's really that bad. A little bit of a dark ring around that skirt. Lift it up and push it back down several times before I try to pull it all the way out. Yeah, it started coming pretty easy, so I just went for it. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's got a nice, I need to turn the overhead light on. I got all these lights and I forgot about the overhead light. Maybe that's a little bit better. It's got a nice golden, there's no play on the pin that's in the piston. Edges are nice and clean. Just a little bit of carbon up there on top. Not too bad. I have found that if you put just a dab of this oil on there, after runs the VP Pro after run oil. This here will help clean it up as well. I'd say that's probably good enough. All right, so here comes the tale of tales. Hopefully it doesn't just slide through my sleeve. Way better than what I thought it was going to be. Like, that's where it got tight. I mean, I could probably still, I can get it to the top of that ring that's in there, but man, it felt like it was going to be real loose. Because it spins over real easy, which, I mean, maybe it just means it's got a nice clean break into it. But yeah, there's pretty much what you'd call maxed out. That makes me feel better. I was a little worried. But, like I said, we run these things hard. I'm going to say probably a lot of RTRs wouldn't be able to take it. All right, I gotta get some clean paper towels. I'll be right back. We should take this opportunity to clean out the oil ends on the piston. Yeah, I take this opportunity to do a lot of different things to it. Always make sure I can see daylight. Which I can. So that is good. But yeah, real happy with that. I don't think it needs a pinch at all. I thought it was going to be closer to the top. It's like once it's broke in and it's just a nice smooth delivery. I mean, I wouldn't say loose, but it spins over easy. It doesn't have that that real tight pinch anymore. But I mean, hell, if we still got that much, you know, I'd say it's gonna be a minute before we get a pinch. I'd say there's at least 5 gallons on it as of now. I mean, maybe even more, because I know I've put 2 to 3 gallons of VP through it. And man, I think I just bought my 4th, if not my 5th gallon, at least 4 to 5 gallons of Nitro Pro through it. Which lately I've also been doing, I'd say close to a gallon on the, you know, on the Truggy. So she has quite a bit. Raw, my brother, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Have to drive home now. I'll be listening. Awesome, thank you, sir. You're freaking badass. Drive safe, my friend. All right. I don't want to get the glow plug. So yeah, like this brand new, awesome glow plug only has, I think I did basically 2 qualifies and a main. So this come out of the buggy. This was a 15-minute main because I was in the B main. So 15 minutes there and 2 6-minute qualifiers. So what is it? Not even 30 minutes of run time. On that gold plug there. Let's see, I need to get a different paper towel going here. Oh, man, I meant to say something before Raw took off. So, one of the things I needed to point out tonight's episode, I am back on 12-hour shifts, at least through the end of February, trying to get something done that they want. So, I might try to do a live on Sunday when I'm at the track. Depends on what all's going on, but we won't be doing these during the week for a minute. I'm just not gonna have time. I get off at 5:30 and get home at 6, and it becomes pointless at that time. If anything changes, you know, we'll get right back into it, but definitely gonna be a minute. It sucks. I do apologize, but it is what it is. And I gotta do what I gotta do. But that's alright, because I got a couple of things that I'm wanting to do coming down the road, and it'll help me get it accomplished. So unfortunately, this will be the last live until during the week, until I'm done with these 12s. That's alright, because I need to get stocked up on some parts, so it's actually kind of a good thing. I hate doing that. You get a tool that holds the flywheel that doesn't tear it up. Thought I had all the shims. Probably the strongest point of the engine right now. It's run on static pinch. At this point, to keep the piston center of the sleeve. Yeah. It probably is. No, they say, you know, when it's, yeah, whenever it's at this point, you know, beyond a certain gallon, before a certain gallon is your strongest point. So, yeah, good point. There's a lot of points in there. On that FX, it says in the book, like it listed out like 0 to 5. It actually tells you how much runtime. So like 0 to 5 hours, you know, you should be getting like 7.5 to 8 minutes. 5 to 10 hours, you should be getting, I think it's like 8.5 to 10. And then like 15 hours and up, you should be getting like 8.5 to 11 minutes per tank. And it doesn't specify buggy or truggy. So, but anyways, I don't know what it is on this, but that's a good point off my guy. Be my first time getting to check out this diamond coated crankshaft. Popped it right off. You know, and you could see just a little bit of moisture, which I understand you're gonna get just a little bit of oil coming out of these, but usually the whole bottom section down there is just soaked. So I like it. I know it doesn't necessarily seal the engine there, and you know, it's normal to have some oil. I get it. It's just nice seeing this thing not spitting it out as bad as what some do. Oh, man, usually it's a pain in the butt. She was trying to come out before I was ready. Bearings feel good. Look at them pretty ceramic bearings in there. Probably can't see it too well. I have to zoom in and my hands are greasy, so we're not gonna smear it all over the phone. But we'll clean our hands before we touch this crank. This is what I've been waiting to see or wanting to see. I know. And me too. I just haven't really had the time to do it. Nice. All right. So now I will zoom in so we're more under the light. No, that's not working. How about test run of, oh. Well, my phone's way behind on the messages. There we go. All right. So, quit it. We got 2 slugs. What is this here? Version 2, 16.55. What is that symbol? I don't know what all that means. But I think this is part of like that version 2. Because like when you go to order like a piston and sleeve, they list it in as a version, like the version 2. So I don't know if that's what this is or what. Quit doing that. Nice and clean. No real like wear marks from the bearing. You could see a little bit of like where it was sitting there, but it's not wearing the coating off. Little grooves around the counterweight or whatever you call that. Yeah, looks good. Huh. I don't think I ever noticed that they drill those all the way through and that slug is just in there like that. I thought they left the back of it and then like epoxied it in or pressed it, whatever. But let's see what kind of edge we got there. Nice. Let me get the grease off my hands and I'll zoom it back out. It's a press fit. Yeah, I figured as much. Once I see that backside. So I don't necessarily want to take this to the sink and rinse it like I would do the RTRs and like new stuff or old stuff that I buy that I need to clean out. So I think we're just we'll give it a wipe with this one of these shop towels. But look at that. That stuck my finger down inside the top of it and just gave it a little spin and get a nice collection of gunk. But yeah, now that sleeve comes out nice and easy. Like when they're brand new, the sleeves don't like to come out. Now that it's worn in a little bit, probably take this apart more and just give it a good once over and cleaning. I mean, I've taken some hard hits and slams from other buggies. I don't remember my high-speed needle being like that. I think when my exhaust got damaged, I think it got hit there as well. But yeah, the bearings feel good. Everything feels good with it. I'm thinking what I might even do just to have it as a backup is get like a backup piston and sleeve and set of bearings, and then like when I do send that out to get it pinched, I'll put that piston and sleeve in here and get it broke in, and then I can use it and run with it and keep going while I wait on the other one to come back. It's a thought. I don't know for sure. Looking awesome, brother. 100% nowhere on just one side looks even and normal to me. Yes, sir. Thank you for your expertise. One thing I do need to do is get this cleaned up. What's going to be the best way? I might put it back together and then clean it up so I don't get any of that inside, because I don't want to take this over there and rinse it. I mean, I guess it won't hurt. You know what? I'm going to go rinse it, scrub it a little bit, get some of this gunk out of it, and then we'll WD-40 it, and then we'll put a good little chunk of after run in it, just be on the safe side. So if there's no objections, which you got about 2 seconds to type out, I'm gonna go give this a rinse. Even the carburetor, it's dirty. We'll get all the moisture out before we put it back together, just like we always do. All right, I shall return. Don't go nowhere. Alright, almost done. I'm just gonna dry it up a little bit. I'm gonna go shoot some WD-40 down inside of it just to help draw out any excess moisture. We'll be right back. Alright, I'm not gonna leave this WD-40 all over the outside of it. Just gonna cause problems. Not too bad in there, but there's a little bit of dirt sitting in there. All right, I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. not gonna worry about getting all the WD-40 out, because I am gonna put regular after run oil in it. Which, like I said, I use that VP Pro. I really like it. That's all I got left. I thought I ordered a new bottle and hadn't used it very much. Well, guess I used it more than I thought. Hell yeah, I like it. Just make sure I don't have any buildup of anything on here. Something else I wanted to check. Still good and tight. I mean, you can see that it's maybe. See, it's a tight fit. I can't get any play in it, so that's always good. I wish I was better at keeping track of exactly how many gallons that I've ran through this. But like I said, I mean, it has to be at least 5, if not more. You know, it's amazing how many, not necessarily like tanks, but like over time, you know, how many actual tanks you could say that you're doing warm up and tuning and just screaming it on the box. That's half the damn fuel that goes into it, you know? I might be exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I mean. All right, so now I'm gonna clean up my oil. It's been sitting there for a minute. You know, when you use VP, here, I'll be honest with you. And I use my engine so much, I never really felt the need to put after run in it. So I have yet to put after run oil in that. I mean, you can say good or bad or whatever, but nothing is rusted. There's like, you know, makes it look like there's no reason to. Like, the only thing steel in there is probably the bearing housing. And like, there's nothing. What's up, JW? How you doing, brother? No play in that. JP, what's up? How's everybody doing? There's a bunch of old people in here that got short-term memory problems, so just throwing it out there. Don't forget that like button. If you're enjoying the show. Put a little more. Got done wrenching for the night. Probably 2 more days of it. Got the truggy done. Now I get 2 buggies done. Hell yeah. So, for you guys that just joined us, the whole point of this video was to take it apart and clean it and see where we were at on our pinch. Still got plenty of life left in her. There's half the goods. Just do one more little wipe down of this. Give it some fresh oil. That's the OS, yes sir. Was your motor running funky? Nope. Just doing some maintenance. Couple of drops down the carb. I don't usually put drops down the carb. I want a bunch of oil in the carb. And I guess if we open it to get it down in the crank, but I mean really, we can just put it down the backside. Bloop bloop. No, it was running good. I haven't, first time I've taken this engine apart, and that's weird for me. Usually I take them apart pretty quick, but I've been so busy racing with it and just not wanting to mess with it. I wanted to see what kind of pinch I had left in it. And no, everything's good. I've always done this with my engines, just after so much, tear it down, redo it, make sure it's got a good seal. Hell, I lost one of the screws back here, and the rest of them were starting to come loose because I forget to even look sometimes. So just wanted to freshen it up a little bit. Looking so fresh and so clean. Put a little bit of oil around this ring. So always put just like your gaskets or your oil filter in your car or whatever. You just want to put some oil around that ring. Helps give it a seal and not damage it. Yeah, I lost one of the screws that go on that back plate. But it's alright, I've got a screw tub. I think I'm going to hit the sack pretty zapped. I've been on the build for 2 straight days. A lot of trial and error, fitting, refitting. I'll be seeing screws in my sleep. Let's see, how'd you do last week? I did okay. I got 4th in the truggy in Sportsman. And then, man, there's so many guys in the Sportsman buggy that probably should bump up. I mean, I was running clean, but yeah, there's a lot of fast guys in there. Basically, I was 3rd from last, but I beat 2 of the guys that I felt like I could beat. So I was happy with that, and I just got to keep trying to work my way up. But I mean, yeah, they got some really fast guys in that class. Like, guys that'll run the open and, and do good in there. And they'll come down to the Sportsman level and try to get themselves a podium. Whatever, to each their own. Couple of sandbaggers, I'll say. But main thing is, had a blast, and everything ran really well. That freaking FX engine is a beast in the truggy. That I will say. All right, I need to get to my turbo screws. Nope, not that one. Come here. Hell yeah, can't tell any differences. Where is my Loctite? Let's open the carbon, drop oil, top of solid side of the crank. My building rotator, especially if it's non-DLC. Yeah, and I put a bunch of oil down inside and got a good coating on it. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But no, it's plenty lubed. Plenty lubed. I don't know that screws have ever had Loctite on them. But God. You know what? Starting to do as they do. All these guys don't put Loctite on hardly anything on their engines. Don't back out. Don't do it. Astroglide works really well too. I saw that video of the bug talking about somebody bitching at him. You made me ruin my engine. He's like, no, stupid, you ruined your own engine. Didn't say to actually use Astroglide. I mean, at least ask the question, whether it's to that person or somebody else. Like, are you serious about this? Is this something I should really do? Anybody will tell you, no. Yeah, that's some funny shit. What was that? Yesterday or the day before I saw that? Don't back out. Hear me? Yeah, she's sloppy with oil. How did he put that? When you go to fire it up and it's full of oil, what did he say? It's gonna be not necessarily angry, but it's gonna she's gonna be feisty. You go to fire it up and you got a bunch of oil in there. But no, I was impressed, happy, looks good in there. Not a problem at all. Let's steal some oil out of here. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. Just give it a small coating to seal. So we got the 3 dots in the back. And as we've learned on this show in the past from people that know what they're talking about, the back goes to the back because... Anybody? That's right. It is sloped in the back for the exhaust. I don't know all the technical terms, but it helps it flow better and yada yada. Am I saying it right or am I off on that? Look, is hilarious. Yep. It's my brother from another mother. Damn, does anybody remember which way I had this? Was it forward or backwards? I think it was forward. That's the way we're gonna go. I think it was something like that. Find generally the backplate screws don't come out if the gasket or O-ring has compression. It'll hold the screws tight like a lock washer. Ah, good point. Hope you're right. But no, I don't think that. I don't think it ever had any Loctite, and that's the first time that I've ever noticed them being loose or actually losing one. And it's probably just because it's been so long since I've checked it. I've been checking these head screws a little more regularly I'm so used to using Loctite on them. And then I had that one issue out there at the track where, luckily it wasn't for a race, but I was trying to practice, and it was spitting oil out the side of the engine. And so I took it apart and realized that there was some Loctite like dried up in between the shims, and so it was creating, a space to let it all out. So I stopped doing that because I noticed that a lot of other people don't do it. Figure there's got to be a reason for it. Yes, faster than exhaust, faster seas, gonna run for sure. Oh yeah. Sometimes if things start to work themselves loose, you'll start to have little air leaks in it, and it'll start, having a shitty tune on it. I wouldn't notice anything with the tune. Like I said, I just wanted to take it apart and make it a show. And yeah, we found that there was some screws missing, and those backplate screws started to work themselves loose. And one of them jumped out. Good cranky. And also, like the bug said, as you're tightening these down, you get them all four tight, and then when you pop back into one, might still be loose, just because of the way it pulls everything down and seats it. So even after it's tight, I'll hit it again. Ooh. Feels good and tight. Good and tight. That's how you say virgin in German. That was a joke. Only German I know is Nein. Well, I guess Dankeschön from that song. All right, well, that's as far as we're going to go this evening. Like I said earlier, guys, I do apologize, but I'm back on these 12-hour shifts. It'll be a few weeks before I come back. I told them I don't want to work Sundays. We're going to try and do this without working Sundays. And as long as I'm not working Sundays, I'm going to go to the track and practice. And I've also got race days. I'm going to try and get you guys some good footage and possibly even maybe do a live from the track. I just won't be able to do it during the week. By the time I get home, it's just not worth it. I mean, it's worth it. I'm just too tired to do it. And a lot of people are already in bed anyway, so. But hang in there. Don't worry. The long, boring lives will be back so that certain people can flap their gums and talk their shit and bully people and threaten people and, not have the balls and the courage to start up their own channel to do their shit talking. And nobody believes that, you really have all the crap you say you have, by the way. I know you watch in secret. Anyways, thank you guys. I appreciate you. We will hopefully see you soon. Like I said, we'll do a live at the track, and definitely we'll have some good running videos. And also, while I'm doing my maintenance and getting ready for the track, I'm gonna make off on a guy dizzy. We're gonna put the GoPro on the head, and we're gonna be swinging around, trying to do some videos with the GoPro, because I know he likes watching that kind of stuff. Yes, sir, Jay. Have yourself a good one. Appreciate you guys. We got Bigness. Good night. Take it easy. Says good night. That sounds like something Tony would say. Is that Tony? Tony changed his name, or is Bigness a good a new viewer? Much love and keyboard warrior. Yeah, how am I keyboard warrior when I do shows and I'm on here in person and that person only, yeah, whatever. Anyways, like I said, don't be bullying people. Don't be threatening to come check somebody because you're defending yourself after you started running your mouth like a little crackhead. Anyways, thank you guys. Have yourselves a good night. I will see you when I see you, hopefully sooner rather than later. I will keep you guys posted. Much love and peace. Yeah, it's me, Big T. I like it. Mr. Nesbitt, the legend himself. Thanks, bro, for hanging out. Appreciate you.